Good morning. I'm Chloe Papadakis, and I'll be your host for today's Quiet Echo. My daughter went to bed last Saturday night more pleased with herself than I had seen her in weeks. She had walked to the end of the driveway alone, 12 feet to the mailbox and back. She is 3 years old. I sat on the edge of her bed after she fell asleep, and I looked at her for a long time. I do this anyway, most parents do. I think that last check at the end of the day when the house is quiet, and you can just look at them without anyone needing anything. But Saturday night, I was thinking about something specific. I was thinking about the 12 feet, about what it had cost her to do it, which was nothing. She walked to a mailbox. She reported on the neighbor's dog with great seriousness. She came back, and I was thinking about what it had cost me to let her, which was more than it should have been. My husband came in while I was sitting there. He asked what I was doing. I told him I was thinking about the driveway. He looked at me for a moment and said, "She did great," and walked out. That was it. For him, it was finished. She walked to the mailbox. She came back. Good! I envied him for about 10 minutes. Because here is what was running through my head during those 12 feet. Not worry about my daughter. Worry about the woman 2 doors down who I know watches. The half-formed awareness of what it might look like if someone drove past at the wrong moment. The calculation, and I am embarrassed to say it was a calculation of whether standing at the door was enough or whether I should be on the porch. Whether the porch read as attentive or whether it read as hovering. Whether hovering was better than what someone might see as neglect. 12 feet. I ran all of this in 12 feet. I have been trying to trace where it came from. Part of it is the park. Last month I let her climb the big structure, the one with the steep ladder, the sign suggesting ages 5 and up. She wanted to try. She has been climbing things since she could pull herself upright. I stood close, but I did not help her. A woman nearby watched for a long time, said nothing, just watched, and I nearly intervened in something my daughter was handling beautifully, because the watching made me feel I should be doing something. Part of it is the articles. They arrive in my phone every week. Studies on free-range parenting. Essays on benign neglect. Researchers who have discovered as though it were news children need space and boredom and small problems to solve on their own. They arrive dressed as permission, and they feel like surveillance. Because buried inside each one is the same message here, is what good mothering looks like, and here is what it does not look like, and now you know, and now you are accountable. Benign neglect. I want to sit with those 2 words for a moment. Benign, harmless, well-meaning. Neglect, failure of care. The researchers put them together to mean something neutral, something even positive, but only one of those words lands. I have never once read the phrase and felt the benign. I have always felt the neglect. I called Debbie Larson after the park. We have known each other our whole lives. Her youngest is 2 months older than mine. I told her about the climbing structure, the watching woman, the 12 feet, and all of it. She listened. Then she told me she does not let Lily climb the big structure yet. Not because Lily cannot do it, because she cannot stand the feeling of being watched aside. We talked for a long time. At some point, Debbie said, "Do you think our mothers felt this?" I thought about it. I do not think they did. Not like this. My mother once told me about a woman in Cedar Valley. I will not use her name, who left her baby in the car for the 30 seconds it took to collect her husband from a building. Another woman followed her back out carrying the baby, telling her what a terrible mother she was, loudly, in front of a crowd. The crowd told the woman to mind her own business, not gently. They told her plainly. The mother knew her baby, knew her town, knew exactly what 30 seconds cost her child. The woman who followed her out had substituted her own fear for a mother's knowledge. Cedar Valley knew the difference between a child in danger and a mother being judged, and Cedar Valley said so. I grew up in Cedar Valley. I rode my bike to Debbie's house without calling ahead. I walked to the library alone at 7. I fell off a fence behind the Rusk property and walked home with a scraped knee and did not tell anyone for days. I was given small freedoms before I was given large ones. 12 feet before a block before a mile. And I became someone because of it, not despite the risk, but because of the trust. Owen Collett is 17 now. Grace Larson is 16. I watch them sometimes, and I can see the shape of the people we are becoming: thoughtful, capable, willing to try things. They were given room to become themselves. Cedar Valley gave it to them. What I am trying to understand is what changed between my mother's generation and mine. The town is not more dangerous. Children are not more fragile. What changed is the audience. My mother made her choices in private. I make mine in a world where every choice has a potential witness, and every witness has a platform, and every platform has an opinion, and the opinion arrives in my phone before I have finished deciding. The woman in the parking lot had to say it to someone's face. The articles never do. They get inside a mother's head quietly, with footnotes, and they stay there. My husband came back later. He asked if I was still thinking about the driveway. I said yes. He sat down. He said she was fine. You knew she was going to be fine. You watched anyway because you wanted to, not because you had to. And then he said, this is not a problem, just you being her mother. I am still thinking about whether he is right. I wrote about this in today's editorial because I do not think I am the only one turning it over. I think there are parents in Cedar Valley who have stood at the door or the park bench caught between what they know and what the noise is telling them to feel. And I think most of the places available to talk about it are too certain and too loud to leave room for anyone who is genuinely uncertain. So, I am asking. The Cedar Valley News Facebook group is open. Tell me about the moment you let go, or the moment you held on and what it cost you. Tell me whether the crowd in your town still pushes back. Tell me whether the articles help or whether they are just the new woman in the parking lot. I am not looking for the right answer. I am looking for honest company. The Cedar Valley News Facebook group is where I will be listening. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Chloe Papadakis, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series written by Evan Swenson, publisher, publication consultants, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people in town are fictional, the national events they reflect on are real.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.